Observe higher GC News, Bima Wibia Aquaba, had the latest hot and qua enamide Bremo. And so we can subscribe to channel idea, Bomodia say over subscribe. Double the say over click a year the subscribe button. Now our belly notification. We had a video for Frubia be uploaded with the first person that once Ebeka a year video. Afi we are now like video to give us a thumbs up, Nafi. Share my work for us so that we be here now and someone else ewo Ghana memo no afi tetema yebura ye ensemwa abeto yepno so keti kabitela wa react to IGP Dampare Agyapong no asese yafa new IGP awoye Christian Yohonu asese odona John Dramani Mahama appoint no asese yaswede ina wababe IGP na eno na keti de ensem bebre atodwa fa de ntia IGP no Dampare former IGP Agyapong no na CID boss so ochere se Agyapong CID boss Kabitela dance bebredi afa ya CID boss aditia yempamo ono so na wode semdo do na ara ena atudwa ententemara yenko keti akachi na yentie ni semo a wode atudwa yentie semo no.
Okay, all right, I'll take care of that business now. And then you breaking news about Bontene say Dampare has been sacked by the IGP, by the president. Sorry, Dampare has been sacked by the president of the republic. Now sa asemuya abedahui obebusa say na yatete senkofo bi ka se Dampare yentumi nsake no na Dampare e wo se de dwuma ne Germany ye. You know, John Mahama nipa bia, you don't have to provoke him. Say ba Ghana mra ye de chechire man 90% of politicians in Ghana John Mahama ni muchen omu nyina. Say ba governance, the nitty-gritties, the techniques, and how to have your way positively in governance. John Mahama, majority of the so-called think tanks, any intellectuals, any those foolish people parading on your streets say they are intelligent because they speak somebody's language. You know, John Mahama knows the job than all of them. They are foolish. They are just hungry people. And John Mahama is somebody, he smiles a lot, but don't dare provoke John Mahama. Dampare are sacking in them. Because of those fools who thought to say Dampare could use them to intimidate John Mahama. And I keep telling people, this John Mahama you are seeing is not that John Mahama you knew in 2012, 2013, 2014. This is a new brand. Or your iPhone 17, John Mahama. Or the latest version. So if you try to think, say, you are a group of people, and now you are groups of people, you can use some tactics to intimidate him, to make him feel say he's under pressure, then John Mahama is going to show the other side of him. You, majority, you have not seen. And Dampare being fired today was because of those people Dampare hired to think, say, they can hide behind text messages and courts to make Dampare, who is the president, or Dampare, who was appointed by the president, to stay in office. Dampare is a police officer like any police officer. Dampare's position was given to him by the president. The president has the right to sack Dampare, and nobody in Ghana can stop the president from sacking Dampare. That's it. It is a Dampare is going to hide behind some dumb heads, some foolish idiots who think, say, this is Ghana. We can use the media. We can say things. We can write things for people to think, say, we are intelligent. Dampare cannot be sacked. Then I want to tell you people, say, Jimmy, they don't even know why the limit of the president's power and what the president can do at the time. Dampare sacking, it is because of fools like these. It is because of foolish men like these. You're from security analysts. It's because of idiots like these who think, say, John Mahama, they're oilful. John Mahama, there he's easy. We can pressurize him to quell. No, you are the fools who have forced John Mahama to sack Dampare because at a particular time, the president of the republic needs to prove to you people that he is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and he is the president. People like you, Saman Way, and Kofi Benton, the likes, you fools who think, say, you can impose your foolish mentality on Ghanaians and ideology, you are the fools who got Dampare to be sacked. Jimmy. You think Ghana at every time NDC ba power, you people can hide behind this foolish brofotan time amoka and enkwasia titles be a damoso to skew the system to favor you guys. You people have been doing this for years. Now, Mamenchira de Kudientia, Dampare Sacking, no, it was easy for the president to do. Now, when somebody say, these people have gone to court and that they are going to stop Dampare from being sacked, you need to know, sir, from there now, these people are too foolish to understand. Now, the question here is, when it comes to security matters, when it comes to national security issue, the president should be comfortable with anyone he wants to work with. The president has to make sure Obia on any year you may be not trusting. And I'm not saying that Dampare is a bad police officer. He's not. I'm not saying Dampare did not deliver as a police officer. He did. But the issue is the person who is in charge believes that he might be more comfortable with somebody else than Dampare. That does not make Dampare a bad police officer. That does not make Dampare Nipa Bonini. It is the person who wants to govern and people he believes that he can have some trust or he's comfortable with. So for the president to come out and say, Dampare is a good person, but I believe that there are some people I can work with that I will be comfortable with. It does not make Dampare a bad police officer. It does not make Dampare a default police officer that will be appointed and nobody can sack him. No. When you do that, then it means to say agenda na etari cheno is to make or sabotage the president and the government. Because the Chief Justice now, Modi Assembly Command or a Supreme Court to say, Mobile Bekachen say, nobody should. The president should not even think. Because at this point, you are speculating. In Kofowe Court, Omo foolish group when say they are going to tell the Supreme Court to say Oma to say sack Dampare into the Supreme Court should stop it. The question is, so you are going to court on speculations. How do you build a case based on speculation with GB? And you see, I keep telling Ghanaians to say in Kofowe, they are on TV, they are on radio, and they are wearing some Vietnam suits, and they are making people think some way, Jimmy. You cannot build a case on speculation because of what to say. President saw the sack Dampare. Court, the action hasn't happened. What are you going to court to do? Then everybody who was appointed by the president they can go to court and say, in 3 years' time, Minim said John Mahama best sack him. I am telling the court that he should not dare sack me. So who can be sacked in Ghana? Jimmy. You have no intelligence. The foolishness in you, these old boys. Mona mo say Ghana. You are a security analyst, so are you intelligent than anyone? Then if you are going to court today because Dampare who was appointed by an appointer or whoever, if the person who appointed Dampare does not have the power to sack Dampare, then any appointee by John Mahama or be a John Mahama appointing in the Biano can go to court tomorrow morning and say, in the future, or so be a appointee of John Mahama, Nebabe Tumako court. I say, in the next 2-3 years, I am sure John Mahama will sack my father. Into today, I'm coming to court to tell the court to stop John Mahama from sacking my father in the next 3 years. That is what we are dealing with. So you go to court based on speculations. How do you go to court based on speculations? The action has not been committed. So if you are going to go to court based on speculations, Judge Papa Ben we are so speculations. Use speculations to judge an issue. In 10 years, not Dampare has not been sacked. How does that case fly? And you see, I keep telling Ghana for say, these people, you have to be careful about Sanko Forum from say we are neutrals. We speak for Ghanaians. We are think tank. We are intellectuals. Makacham say Ghana, majority of intellectuals are foolish. I'm telling you. Yen you anoma mutiti dwom eton tomatoes a yembu omo, carpenter for yembu omo, hairdressers yembu omo no mo fie no. Omo ni nyansa chenkofo we bebre. These people, when you take the nonsense they learned in school, I'm telling you. Now, a president came into office. He has set up a constitutional review committee. Say, yan constitution no. Nyame bia ye hu ne se entwa ye no. Yan amend no, yan tenetene no. Inti se monya idea bi kura se Adding a president to be a bar. Now we change the IGP. Why don't you take your grievances to the committee that is taking care of amending the constitution for it to stop these kind of things? Why don't you go to the committee? Why don't you take your grievances to the committee and tell the committee, say, you know something, this constitution, we want to amend the constitution that no president should come in the future when this thing is actually accepted as as constitution. When anybody comes to be president of this country, that person sign depending to me and change the IGP. Now, the Constitutional Review Committee is ongoing. Now, the court on speculations. Are you stupid? How Musku na moko saying? The same way that Afenyo Markins he went to court to restrain the speaker on an action that he has not taken. The same stupidity. Now, if we keep on doing this, we keep on going to court on speculations, we keep on thinking, say, we need to do things to please our friends. How do we build the nation? Mona musoma kinkan cheme, me mini master so. Mona musoma de wote brofo cheme ti muni munyansa. Mona musoma ndiatem. But your actions check clearly say mo jimi. You people are the ones derailing the progress of this nation. Because the first thing you do is that you don't go to court on speculations. Because an action had not been taken. It could take 7 years. Now President Dampare Dampare. So what are you going to court on? Now the president has sacked Dampare. So whatever you have presented in court is based on speculations. What are you going to do? Are you going to fuckingly stupidly amend that suit, Nana? Jimmy. And let me tell you people something. The Chief Justice herself, she is not static. She is not constant. The Chief Justice can be sacked. Do you know that? So many things. Nobody, even the President of the Republic, he can be impeached. He can be sacked. So how can you say, a police officer who has been appointed by the president, you don't understand it. You are going to court to say, nobody can sack Dampare. And these are the things we do. When Jimmy, they are politicians, and they make you believe, say, politics, they are intelligent. They are intelligent people. They are analysts. Because they are analysts to Ghana. Every fool is an analyst. Jimmy be an analyst. You be free here. They are more platforms and they are speaking. If you are actually a security analyst, you ask yourself, what will make a president change the IGP? That's the first question you ask yourself. Did the IGP do something wrong? His job, is he actually doing his job? The job that has been given to the IGP, has he been able to fulfill it? Has he been able to make sure that his duties itself, he is paying attention to his duties? Has the IGP proven over the years that you ask yourself those questions. Then you ask yourself, the President of the Republic, does he trust the IGP? If the President does not trust the IGP, what is making the President not to trust the IGP? You are a security analyst. So you tick all these boxes. Then you have to come to a conclusion. Someone will say, so would the president be right to sack IGP? Because the issue is, it's not about sacking the person. It is not about Dampare as a human being. It is about the office he occupies. Do we trust what is coming out of the office? Can the president trust him? The decisions he takes, or he has taken, or he's about to take? These are things, security analysts, you sit and you ask, Dampare gather all of you guys in a room and tell you, go and do bidding for me. Intanopa 6, it will be wrong for you to sack Dampare. It will be wrong. The Constitutional Review Committee is there. We don't want the president to be appointing the IGPs, go there and put your fucking grievances there. They will infuse it into what they are doing. Now, out of that stupidity, I'm a president now, Pam Dampare. You people caused his downfall. For all you know, my intelligence, say the president was not even taking decision on Dampare. Yes, the president wasn't going to sack Dampare. But you people wanted to test the president. The president did not have, he wasn't even planning on sacking Dampare. He wanted to give Dampare time. The president wasn't even thinking. But you people, because Moya Sadia Weyache, and you have been doing this to presidents, you have been doing this to leaders. All that you people do, they say, Mochain, Obi take office, automatically you have intelligence about everything. Oh, we have learned this. Oh, we know this. Oh, we are an analyst. Oh, we are the certificateless analysis. Stupid analysis. How do you go to court on speculation? How do you go to court on speculation? The president has the right to sack Dampare, and he has sacked him. All because of you fools. Now, the president, when he came into office, gave Dampare job to do. The Dampare do the job. And this is going to go down. The CID boss. Because you see, Dampare, technically the police force, he takes care of administrative job. Dampare does not go down to do investigations. So when the president of the republic say, "Oh, issue order," and I say, "Oh, issue statement," and now issue green paper, now or instruct IGP, now or instruct the head of the police, now or state what document him say, "I need investigations to be done." The president is indirectly telling Dampare, say, "You don't go to the ground, you don't go down there to do investigations. Make sure the person who is in charge of investigations does the investigations." Until when the president issues a statement that he wants or he is expecting the Ghana Police Service through Dampare, who is basically the administrative boss, to do investigations, then the president is talking to the CID boss. Now the question here is, Dampare has been sacked. The CID boss needs to follow. You know why? Let me read that letter, that green letter the president released 3 days after he was sworn in. Now, Mamantia say the president needs to sack the CID boss. Okay? Who read that statement from the president on the 10th of January 2025? Your March, and the date you're saying, and then the 13th of March. President issues that statement way on the 10th of January. And Oka say the CID department of the Ghana Police Service, under the direction of the IGP then Dampare, they should conduct investigations. What has happened to this? Why responsibility for the investigations? Say why not also your investigations? Now, when you read the letter, take your time. I'm going to read through it. Then you understand why the CID boss immediately, the president of the republic, respectfully, he needs to sack this lady because she's a cheap party foot soldier who does not understand her job. The Inspector General of Police, Ghana Police Service, dear Dr. Dampare, request for immediate investigation into the death of 8 Ghanaians during the 2020 and 2024 general elections. Or see, the president said he's requesting all the way in January for investigations to be done. Dampare will take the letter and instruct the CID boss to do the investigations. Dampare does not do investigations. Dampare technically is an administrative head. The CID boss, her job is to go down, interrogate, make sure the facts, make sure evidence is gathered, and then a report at the end of the day is put together. The president was talking to the CID boss because I will read detailing letter the insider. Ubewu said everything was directed to the CID boss. Now, Uridio say, I have been instructed by His Excellency John Mahama to formally request your office to initiate immediate investigations into the tragic death of Ghanaian citizens during the 2020-2024 general elections. These incidents, which occurred in various parts of the country, have left a lasting scar on our democratic process, and it is imperative that justice is served for the victims and their families. The president wants investigations to be done. Dampare does not do investigations. It's the CID boss who does investigations and send the report to Dampare. What has happened to the investigations? Now, when you go to the point the president put down, you will understand why I'm saying, Dampare has been sacked. Good news. The CID boss needs to be sacked. Now, Uridi, letter now President a release here now. Or say, to ensure the investigations are comprehensive and transparent, we respectfully propose the following. 1. Establishment of a dedicated investigative force whose job is to make sure a dedicated investigative force is put together. It's the CID boss. Dampare will instruct the CID boss to make sure a dedicated investigative team is put together. So the job was on the shoulders of the CID boss. Now you understand what I'm saying. Into Sha or say, form a special task force within the CID. Form a special task force within the CID to focus solely on these cases, ensuring undivided attention and efficient handling of this matter. Or say, you are the administrative boss. Make sure that the CID, they form an investigative force. They form what? An investigative task force, a CID investigative task force. Whose job is that? It's the CID boss's job. Has she done it? No. Why are you my way? On yeah. What you make up? Yes. Odin Kwasiasem? Yes. So why is it said Dampare has been sacked and the CID boss is still in office? 2. Collaborate with witnesses and families. Dampare is the IGP. He cannot go down and go meet witnesses and family members. It is the CID boss who is supposed to make sure she puts a team together to go on the ground to meet victims, families, and discuss to find evidence, pick things, and then to put together to form a case or to make a case. So the job here is still on the CID boss. 3. Review of electoral security arrangement. Investigate. The president said, investigate. Whose job in the police service is to investigate? Is the CID boss. Dampare has to instruct the CID boss to investigate a review of the electoral security arrangement. So Dampare, as an administrative boss, has given all the powers to the CID boss, who is a slave queen, who is supposed to make sure the president order na wamano yediso. So why are we still keeping the CID boss? Why are you insisting that Dampare should stay in office? Dampare needs to go. So Pam head coach now, I was assistant to the call. Black Stars inquiry to be Pam head coach. You to be Pam assistant, not head coach to, but a coach in the cover assistant in the buy. It is only the corrupt Black Stars that the same we see. But in governance, in police, we are not going to allow this to happen. Now, so shall let him now read. I'm letting you understand something. When you go to the 4th point, this is what the president says. Use of forensic evidence. Dampare is the administrative boss. Now read your say. Employ advanced forensic techniques to analyze any physical evidence from the crime scenes, including bullet casing, weaponry, and other materials. So the 4th point is still with the CID boss. She needs to investigate. Into checking president in a letter now. Every single thing pointed to investigation. So she needs to investigate and bring the report to IGP for IGP to present to the president what has happened to that. So the IGP has failed on his job. And if the IGP has failed on his job, the CID boss needs to be sacked tonight. Why is she in office? Why is the CID boss? Why is that woman in office? Now, let me show you something. When you read the other side of the letter, the other part of the letter, this is what it says. Point 5. Point 5, it says this. Oh, please. Come out, please. Team. Nah. I don't like what's happening here. Now, let me enlarge the point 5. Me and read the point 5. I'll put it on the screen. Now, when you read point 5, this is what it says. I'll say 5. Collaboration with electoral and civic bodies. To read, I'll say work with the Electoral Commission and other relevant agencies to review reports from the 2020-2024 elections for additional context. That's 5. Now, Okwasi, to maintain public trust and ensure transparency, we kindly request periodic updates on the progress of the investigations. Or say, the progress of the investigations. Say, this will help to keep stakeholders informed and assure the public of your commitment to uncovering the truth. We are confident in the competence and professionalism of the Criminal Investigations Department. Dear President, in a letter, or say we are confident in the competence and professionalism of the Criminal Investigations Department and trust that your efforts will yield the necessary results to bring justice to the victims and their families while preserving the integrity of Ghana's democratic process. The President, Anko Betumaka, said, we are confident in the competence and professionalism of the Ghana Police Service. The President could have said that. He could have generalized the statement, but the President said the investigation department of the Ghana Police Service. The President knows that Dampare is an administrative boss and that the CID boss, she is supposed to do the groundwork. That is why the President was saying the CID boss, the CID department is where he believes this job will be done. Into this woman, the CID boss, the President, with all due respect, you need to sack her. She is not supposed to be sitting in that office. Dampare is gone. We understand. He has failed on his job. But this woman, this slave queen, is not supposed to be the boss of CID in Ghana. No, Mr. President. No. If you don't do this, then you will not have it easy with me, Kevin Taylor. Never. Mr. President, because let me tell you something, Ghanaians. For this government to be able to go after anybody who has stolen from us, it is only the CID boss who can sign it off for even arrest, for even to make an arrest. When it is a criminal case, it is the CID boss who has to sign it off. Now you have a CID boss who has connived with criminals in the former government. How are you going to get the people you want to arrest? Because today, say, a criminal in the MPP government, Odi Sika. What you need to do is that you need to, at the end of the day, find evidence that crime has been committed. Now, the moment you find crime, it's a criminal case. Now, when it is a criminal case, it is the job of the CID boss to give a green light for arrest to be done. Now, if this CID boss who is sitting at the CID office on here already say, Obe issue a green light for the police officers to go in and arrest, Mr. President, your fight against corruption and your fight against these criminals will be in futile, because then this woman is going to block every arrest, every investigations you want to do. Single-handedly, this woman can stop the government from arresting any criminal in the MPP government. Yes. She can slow down every arrest. Because today, because this woman was brought in by NPP4, they know she did not know the job. But because the friendship with somebody in Tiaden, what this woman is going to do is say, Saudi case Kotumami we nima. All the investigations, they will present it to the Attorney General. The Attorney General will say, no, this is criminal. Now we need to let the police go in. When they present this criminal document in front of this woman, she would delay it. She would delay it. She will alert a MPP for and tell them, say, a criminal case has been put before me to sign for your arrest. Because remember, when it is criminal case, you are not supposed to be invited. The police can come in and pick you up. The Ghana Police Service, when the case is a criminal case, you don't need to call a Nipana Wedi Bonani to come to the office. You don't need to be like Yapacho Bra Police Station. The moment this woman signs, say, Ampa Nanabi Yakronfo, per the evidence in front of her from the Attorney General or from the police, he needs to be picked up. The moment this woman signs, they pick you up. Now, do you think this woman is going to sign for you to pick Nanabi up? She's not going to do it. And it's going to capture the President of the Republic. Mr. President, John Dramani Mahama, this woman needs to be sacked. And it should be immediate. Because your oral job no more no. So when you mami way through oral a waste, I'm telling you. Until you take this woman from there and get somebody who is ready to work for the people. And get an officer who is ready to make sure, say, the right things are done. The law applies. You will not get any job done, Mr. President, until you decide, say, these stumbling blocks, these are people who are hindering your government in fighting corruption. Because ononkwa obetima block anything arrest. This woman alone, she can do that. So this is not a joke. This is not like we are playing here and I say it's favoritism. It is about sacking the CID boss now. With all due respect, Mr. President, because when he sacked Dampare and you refuse to sack this CID woman, it's a waste of time. Dampare is gone. We are happy about it. Because I don't know my police the man who has taken over from Dampare also has experience, 40 years experience or 30 years experience. He can do the job. The CID boss has to also go. The CID boss, she needs to be sacked. From the explanation I have given, Ghana for said John Mahama and Pamma we are. There is no way I able to match you be Ghana. MP before crowd no boy to meet you be Atta. Me say, said John Mahama and Sake a CID boss way by Monday or Tuesday. Sa Kronwa MP before boy they will all walk free. Because she has to give the authorization for an arrest to be done. And this one will never do it. You know the funny thing? Even if she's going to do it, what she's going to do, say, she is going to snitch. She is first going to tip them off and tell them, say, right now, the Attorney General has presented a document to me. I've looked through it. They want me to initiate arrest. But Nana B, show, and the reason in say yes, where we are Sikashaha, where we are Kakusia, it's making sure say 3 weeks and not 2 days a day enemy, where move Sikani in every fear. Bibia da ufia bia ifru ho, and this woman can delay the process. She can delay the process. The police officers will still be waiting, like, Madam, please, why don't you want to sign it? Sign it so that we can go and make the arrest. Say, wait. Now, until Nanabi be say obey yi ni nyoma nyina ne kro no nyoma nyina free ono unsigned document no obetwa ma Nanabi eyi sa evidence ni nyina free ho obema MPP ni no eyi sa evidence ni nyina free ho owia so I am ready to sign mo sign na mo kwa a vague arrest bibia nim. Because when you go to their house there will be nothing there. When you arrest the person adebia ye evidence bia no maami way behind the scenes no was snitch. I'm cleaning evidence, and it's a very imperative because John Mahama be a president, the first person I also sack it. She will tell them the content of the document. So Attorney General the document manner. She will read it and tell them, say a case has been brought and it's about you, and this is what they are coming for. So make sure you clean this before they come, and that is the job she's doing now at the police CID office. Into John Mahama, your first assignment by a president, on the 11th of January, you were supposed to sack this woman first. Dampare they saw top war or administrator. Only the saw no asana osa and otchere and ura sorry them. Only the right time now was sacking no. But the first job you were supposed to do was to sack the snitch. She is a snitch. Majority of MP before and TV so kasa this woman has tipped them off. But tip them off, the docket will end up with her. She will tell them to make sure, say, Omo move bibia. John Mahama and the NDC, you are moving too slow. If you want to fight corruption, some of us say oral for evidence, some are gathering effective. Near to me chink of war. The CID boss, Monday also to me Sakeno. She needs to leave. Intimino, I want to tell you clearly. I want Ghanaians to understand. I want Ghanaians to understand to say. Is that, boss, is that him? All right, thank you. Yeah, the Williams Anefi, Papa documents Naba. Thank you, I'll put it out. Williams and if papa ni documents ni nyina I'm telling the president respectfully, Mr. President, please, sacking Dampare is not enough. Dampare technically wasn't even a threat to your fight against corruption. This woman, and only a threat to your fight against corruption. This woman, manya careful NDC, obe cleaning MPP for nina. Every single day you leave this woman in office, she will clean MPP criminals. Because let me tell you, oral for no, omo investigations on my no, Ekodu Attorney General, Attorney General, he does not have the right to arrest. It is only the police, the CID boss. She's the only person obetuma sign for an arrest to be done or to be made. It is when you mami we few are or for betum the evidence we are seeing in Abba. This woman would delay it. And the most dangerous part is say the moment obe who docket no obe catch romo. Into Mr. President. Mr. President, I am telling you, I am very happy you have taken this bold decision by sacking Dampare. It's fine. But social girl we are, what is about her that says or no crobet me lead Ghana CID department? Check lady way. Lady way, every exam she wrote, we know more police office is a service in him. They know this woman was never the right person to be the CID boss. They all know. And in premier coaching here, and the man is her position. No, she knows since obey CID boss, breaking case bia. Or to what's bosom, make up on Kwan Oye. The demeanor, Ocean Krumpa, she's not presentable with all due respect to women. But this woman, when you look at her, this is not a woman who should lead the CID department, the whole Ghana investigation department. No. Her level of intelligence when it comes to investigations, it is low. She is a party foot soldier. She does not deserve to be sitting in that office. She needs to be sacked. And this is not about party. It's about this woman not being competent. It's about this woman being a party person. It's about this woman who would derail the fight against corruption. And you don't see the CID boss say, or to one on your dangerous. Hey, Nana do Kweku for the first 4 years. Tiwa do Danko do near damage in Nana do Kweku Addo. All the stupid arrests he made. Not Nyanse Bianim no. Tiwa do Danko na signing in Amano. Do you know? Urefi. Nipe bia Nana do Kweku Addo. Emom ko tatano during his tenure from 2017 to 2024. It was 2020. It was Tiwa do Dankwa. Tiwa do Dankwa, she did not take a minute. She signed everything. The moment it comes, she signs. Let it go. Go and arrest. Ebaya no sign it. Go and arrest. Because she knew, say, or no one able to slow down arrest in Ghana. And Nana do Kweku Addo used her well. Or using it to say, choba chancing, or using no. Now makeup artist way, or the job bit my amount. Obeshe CID officer, Mumbusa is a case ben wa krake. And I don't want to go far. This letter that the president released on the 10th of January, Mumbusa, this lady said, how far with that issue? Because the issue here is, the president said she was supposed to update us from the day the president even issued that statement. On Babontin press conference and country Ghana for out of disrespect to the president. Ombu president, no. Owu president say president didn't nyansa because we are CID boss. Now president I issue green paper. I insist that something should be done. I say at least we acknowledge by going out there to tell Ghanaians that Mr. President, I've received this document and I want to assure Ghanaians that investigations, my boss has given me the document and I'll make sure investigations are done. They took the letter from the presidency and they threw it away. And to Mr. President, nowhere should anybody allow this woman to occupy the office from Monday? Unless our police officers demonstrating. And yes, sir, we will turn our guns at you. Because we all want to help build this nation. We cannot allow lazy people, snitches, to lead our police force. This is not a request, Mr. President. This is something we are demanding. We are demanding that the CID boss, this slave queen, is kicked out of the CID office. Because whatever you want to do, whoever you want to arrest, every job that the oral team did, So when you mami way and fewer, it will be a waste of time. And we don't want people to be walking on the street. So now we have a new IGP. We need a new CID boss. A very, very important.
Yo, it for winning and some year KT Eddie Atuja wa brobro and Sembi Bresu a IGP Dampare Sacking na wari actor wada and some do na ra Eddie because so we can subscribe to channel idea bomodi and say or subscribe na wa like video don't give us a thumbs up na fi share ba wo foforo so na when you be here na wo hu and some do na ra ekoso e wo gara memo so betimi achere wadwen afa and some way nyina ho e wo comment box mu in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.